citizens all around the world, in this country, in the UK, are struggling to pay their bills, and energy prices will just go up. Should oil companies be taxed more?
Well, there is a great debate in the UK at the moment around a windfall tax. You know, the first thing to say is, you know, I think when you do hear the stories, and you and I are probably in a very privileged position, but when you hear the stories about people having to have to choose, you know, it's a terrible situation, right? Now, you say, well, what's your role in that, and what can you do to help that? I feel that our job is to make sure that the energy is there as best as possible, as much of it as possible. So what we would say is you need two things. You need more natural gas production in the UK, because one of the reasons we have an issue is because there's an imbalance. So we should be incentivizing the investment in natural gas, not disincentivizing. And the second thing that we should be doing is trying to accelerate the transition. And that's why we said this week that actually this decade in Britain, for every pound that we make, we're going to invest £2, and that £2 is going to go into the accelerating the transition in wind and hydrogen and EV charging.
A lot of analysts, and especially ESG ones, say, look, BP is best in class when it comes to this. It's still in maybe a dodgy neighborhood because of the nature of what you do, but best in class. Are you confident that we'll get to the targets set out by COP26? Can we, if not reverse, at least stay and stop climate change?
Well, I think we have to be optimistic. We have to have confidence. What I would say is, I come back to something Francine and I talk about, which is greening companies. And what is a greening company? A greening company is a company that is carbon intensive today. You might call it a heavy polluter today. And what we need to do is to back and encourage those companies to get to net zero. We need green companies, of course. We need solar companies. We need wind companies. We need battery companies. But the reality is we won't be able to build enough of them and scale them fast enough. What we need to do is take companies like BP and get them to transition to net zero. And that's what we're doing. Carbon intensive today, net zero tomorrow, a greening company.